Getting back to military tribunals at Gitmo now, 2 years after the president signed an executive order in the Oval Office to close it down, why we're about to see a major move for several detainees. We'll explain.
Big story this morning, and also marking 20 years. Can you believe it? Since we all watched these pictures, it was an unbelievable night when all this got started with the skies over Baghdad. How former President George H.W. Bush is commemorating the anniversary, the 20th commemoration of Operation Desert Storm.
Also, the critics of the overall next week, too. Okay, Gitmo. Set to get a lot busier. Saturday marks 2 years since an executive order signed at the White House calling for the closure of that prison. Now the administration set to increase traffic at the facility, planning to bring several detainees to justice using military commissions. Byron York, chief political correspondent for the Washington Examiner, also a Fox News contributor. How you doing, Byron?
Doing great, Bill. Thanks.
The White House said earlier today this is not a change in plan at all. We said this was coming. Several detainees were going to go to military commissions anyway. Is it some sort of reversal or not?
Not exactly right. This is what happens when you run into a brick wall. You look for an alternate route, and that's what the White House has done with this. 2 years ago, the president said Guantanamo would be closed within 1 year. Obviously didn't happen. And the Attorney General wanted to try Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in New York. Did not happen. They wanted to bring Gitmo inmates to Illinois. Did not happen. And Congress has said in a bipartisan way, in a non-ambiguous way, none of these Guantanamo inmates come to the United States. So the administration has come up with a plan B, which is to take some of the cases that they had designated for military commissions, go forward with them, and come up with new charges for military commissions. There has not been a single new charge for a military commission since Obama took office.
This could be significant. There's this guy Nashiri, if I'm saying that name right. He's wanted in connection with the Cole bombing in October of 2000. This could be a capital case. I mean,
absolutely.
If he's tried and convicted, he could be sentenced to death. Now, the bigger point in all this discussion here is that Gitmo's still open.
It absolutely is, and it's going to stay open for the foreseeable future because of that bipartisan congressional opposition. But the case of Rahim al-Nashiri, held in connection with the 2000 bombing of the USS Cole, which killed 17 American sailors, a really critical case because he was held at one of these CIA black sites, a secret prison in Poland, and he was also waterboarded. So there were one of 3 terror suspects that we know who were waterboarded. So this is going to be, it's kind of the greatest hits of the objections against the Bush administration's holding of terrorist detainees. Whether those charges stand up, even in a military commission, is going to be the really interesting part of this.
Here we are 10 years down the road on that. I think the other big point in this politically, this cannot make the left happy. This has got to be putting an awful lot of pressure on the White House.
This was a huge thing, and remember, Barack Obama promised over and over and over again in the 2008 campaign to close Guantanamo. He said it would really be pretty simple. Found out it's been a lot more complicated than he thought.
Yeah, would you suggest that's a slow reversal of the policy as it was laid out 2 years ago?
Oh, absolutely. The president said, I'm going to close Guantanamo. The first day he was in office, first full day in office, he signed an executive order to that effect. This was high on his list, and it's just not happening.
All right, I want to talk about China quickly here. We all